Ain't even like that. Just trying to match my swag. 'Cause I'm so cold. Ain't even like that. Just trying to match my swag. 'Cause I'm so cold.
Greetings, y'all. This is Priestess Monjasola. I just want to let you guys know about my free mentorship, When Magic is Black Academy. It is a 12-week, intense, fast-paced mentorship, okay? It's going to be about Ifa, Hoodoo, and metaphysical spirituality, okay? It is awesome, an awesome way to begin your healing, to begin remembering who you are and why you are, okay? You guys, make sure you guys check out the link in my bio before you go ahead and check that out. I mean, why not? It's free, all right? But it is work. So come in and ready to work. You have daily assignments and assignments that you need to get done in 3 tiers, all right? It's definitely worth it. I've been helping a lot of people. I started my own mentorship, okay? So this is all about what Priestess Monjasola is teaching you, okay? So go ahead, click the link in my bio, get into this 12-week free mentorship. It's going to help you in your healing and remembering who you are. Peace. First Ose that we did for this mentorship was Ogun, Matters of the Heart. You guys know that I do Ose every third Sunday, and it's been falling on Ogun for quite some time. So the first Ose I did was for Matters of the Heart. So I feel that we should do a part 2 to that, okay? So I want to start with a Pataki, which is a story about Ogun and Yemiya, okay? Yemiya was a woman of great beauty, but she has only one breast. Because of this, she did not want to marry, because she feared that her husband might ridicule her and expose her secret to the world. One day she was walking sadly from the market and said to herself, "How sad it is to be lonely, to return to a childless house, to have no husband to cook for." Ogun overheard what she said because he was walking along the same road. He felt a strong desire to marry her, and he seized her and said, "Don't be afraid. I know I look fierce, and all the world fears me, but I will do you no harm. I will look after you and protect you, but there is one thing you must promise me. You must never make fun of my bloodshot eyes." Yemaya agreed to marry him. She confessed that she had only one breast, and she said, "You must promise me one thing: never touch my breast." For a long time, they kept each other's promise. Yemiya bore many children to Ogun. One day, Ogun wanted to please Yemiya, and he went into the kitchen to cook soup for her. But being unused to a woman's work, he dropped the pot, broke it, and spilled all the food on the floor. Yemiya, who had been resting, woke up to the noise. She rushed into the kitchen and said, but didn't realize the accident. Angry. She walked up to the kitchen, and as she did not realize how the accident happened, she cried angrily, "What are you doing in my kitchen with your bloodshot eyes?" Ogun could not control himself. When he heard this, he struck her, and she fell to the ground. He felt sorry for her, and he knelt beside her and stroked her breast. At this, Yemiya began to tremble. She turned it to water and slipped through his fingers. Ogun was sad to lose his wife. And then he said to himself, "Gentleness is not for me." And he left his house to go out and fight many wars as he used to. Isn't that a sad but beautiful story, y'all? So yeah, this beautiful Pataki, which is a story, is about triggering a sensitive heart of a wounded warrior. Many of us who are working on healing ourselves find that we have deep wounds that lie dormant in us. Sometimes they're left there, ignored until someone close to us triggers us and makes the wound exposed. This can cause an outburst that can change the course of a relationship or even the course of one's path. The outburst is usually motivated by the immature emotions and misunderstanding of self. And this starts a fire that is hard to extinguish. Now, those who are on the path of finding themselves, they realize that they must heal parts of themselves that is hard for them to face. This phase of finding self is called shadow work. This is where one meets their shadow self and those things that lie dormant in the darkness of one's subconscious. Shadow work can be all consuming and all confusing at the same time. Not only are you dealing with your shadow self, but your previous lives as well. You're actually dealing with the shadow of your immortal soul. Your emotions could be so overwhelming in this process that you don't even know where to begin. You don't know where to start or even how to start. You feel confused, misunderstood, and afraid to truly face the ugliness of who your shadow self appears to be. What is beautiful about shadow work is accepting and acknowledging that you have came to a point in your journey where you are to begin to master yourself. You have to learn to allow yourself to go through all the emotions and all the roller coasters of all your feels. This is where journaling could help, okay? You'll be able to look back and learn exactly how your emotions function and how you tend to react to them. You must accept yourself and all of yourself. This is where the healing begins. You start with this lifetime and you access the events in this life that has gotten you to where you are today. Now, what events in this life has made you the type of person that you are today? What characteristics do you feel has held you back from your personal growth, from achieving your only childhood dreams or past dreams? And you have to be real with yourself. Make a list and make a timeline. Begin from the beginning where you felt you were offset from the person you were supposed to be. Was a timeline in your life uncomfortable with living in the skin that you're in? When was a timeline that your life was uncomfortable, when you was uncomfortable living in your truth of who you're supposed to be? Once you figured out your starting point, you will learn that it begins with a moment or incident where you felt the betrayal of someone you loved, someone you trusted. Who was this person to you? How did this person make you feel? What type of person would you consider this person characteristic wise? And how many times have you experienced this personality and different people in your life? A healing method you could do is to write a letter to yourself, to your past self, who you were in that moment in life, in that moment of betrayal. Give this past self forgiveness and your understanding and hope for the future. You would then write a letter to those that betrayed you. You will also give this person forgiveness, understanding, and hope for their future. Forgiveness is key in shadow work. Now, you have to remember in mind and keep in mind that you chose this experience. I say this time and time again. You chose this experience. You chose this incident or betrayal before you incarnated into this life. You knew that this very thing will be the catalyst to grow and ascend your soul's growth, to clear your soul's karma. Now, bitterness will cripple your growth. Letting go is vital to your soul's expansion. You have to remember that it's the lesson you are to learn and not question the why. When you understand why you incarnated, the why this happened to me is no longer needed. It will only have you spinning in circles. The lesson is for all parties, all people involved. Yet you're only responsible for yourself. how you learn the lesson, and how you're going to overcome the damage that it can cause you in this life, especially if you don't learn the lesson from this. Now, how are you going to handle your responsibility? How have you been handling your responsibility? Have you been pointing the blame, expecting an apology, expecting for your pain to be acknowledged by someone other than yourself? How has that been working for you? I bet it hasn't. It's agonizing trying to place the responsibility of your own healing onto someone else. They're not responsible for you. Even if they are the cause of your pain or distorted view of the world, it's not their responsibility. It's up to you how you react, up to you on how you heal, on how you master compassion, forgiveness, and understanding. Until you accept this, no growth will come to you. Some will wait all their lives, waiting on someone to take their responsibility, living in anger, in bitterness, and in doubt. This is not quality of life. Some will die unhealed, spirit angry, bitter, because they gave the responsibility to someone who would not apologize or admit they're wrong to you. Face it, you're going to have to get over it. Now, this is going to hurt those who vibrate low, who are on a lower vibration. But it's true. You must get over the emotions and the attachment to the incident and look for the lesson that it is to be learned. This is the only way that you'll be able to heal, grow, and expand your consciousness. Don't you want your soul to grow? Don't you want your soul to glow? Don't you want to finally end your incarnations and reside with the Agungun and the Most High? It's ghetto down here, y'all. What are you willing to do to truly master your shadow self? We are not to get rid of it, but to master it. We need our shadow self. It balances with our light body. It's our yin and our yang. It's one of our ways that we balance ourselves, one of our ways where we are whole. Now, I've mentioned a few ways that we could work with our shadow self, like journaling and writing letters to yourself and those who betrayed you. But other ways of working with your shadow self will be meditation. And you guys know I stress meditation. In meditation, it can reveal those dark things that lie dormant in your subconscious. Not only will it reveal it, but it will also give you solutions on how to overcome this dormant energy that seems to keep you in a cycle that you're currently in. Now, you have to know that you have the ability and the capability to tap within and access the keys to successfully healing your shadow self. Take your time, but be consistent with tapping within. Be tenacious about your growth and your healing. Go through the emotions. Even though it feels diabolical, just know that there's sun after the rain. You're going to get through the other side. Just be patient with yourself. You have lived so many lifetimes before, and you have a lifetime to get it right. You want to deepen the connection in your inner voice and your higher self. Now, once you're given the opportunity to recognize that the shadow work is now a part of your current journey, you have to take it by the horns and grasp the blessing for change. This healing will also change your DNA and allow you to rewrite your generational future. There are so many blueprints out there, so many ways to get through your shadow work, how to master your shadow work. But just remember, the blueprint resides in you. You just have to take the time to go within and recognize the power that lies in you. You will have to use this power, just like a battery and a remote. You have to turn it on in order for it to be used to navigate your life. Okay. Now, this lecture is not to tell you how or what to do in your shadow workings in order for you to be healed. This lecture is to ignite the flame for you to build up the courage and the responsibility to actually begin the work, to stay dedicated to the course, to the path of no resistance, letting go of all fear of placing blame in no direction, but actually getting the fuck up on your ass and doing what you're supposed to do, even if you have to cry while you do it. Do it. No one is going to do it for you but you. Even if I gave you a ritual or an assignment, which I have, it is still up to you to maintain the necessary growth and healing that is needed for your soul to expand. Now, I'll be here to support you. I promise that. But I can't or will not hold your hand. It is your responsibility to really do this work. I could give you the keys, but I'm not unlocking the door and pushing you through it. How bad do you want to change? How bad do you want to heal? How bad do you want to end the repeated cycle that you've been in this life, and even in different lifetimes? Now, what I want you to do today is truly get real with yourself, deeply going in and facing the face that your shadow self contains. Is it a version of you today? Or is that face a version of your younger self, your child self? Ask your shadow self, what do you need to feel safe? What do you need to feel empowered? What do you need to feel accepted and to be seen? Make sure you take note and listen. Don't question, but take in consideration what your shadow self says and journal this. Then one by one, you're going to begin to work on that very thing that is needed in order for your shadow self to be initiated. Tap in deep. Deep contemplation and in meditation, the answers reside in you. Now, when you have the opportunity to do a ritual or an assignment to work on your shadow self, I want you to truly dive in wholeheartedly and accept whatever outcome or truth that is revealed to you for your benefit and for your growth. Remember, this is all for your benefit of your soul's consciousness and your soul's expansion. It's all about clearing your soul's karmic debt. Okay. Now I'm going to end with a quote by Carl Jung. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Ashe.
Shay.
Anybody have any questions or comments after that? Nobody? No one has anything to say after y'all was asking for shadow work classes, shadow work rituals.
I do, ma'am.
I need to talk about shadow work, and your priestess done wrote a lecture about shadow work, and y'all ain't got
saying
nothing
get the
to
fuck
say.
up. I'm getting the fuck up.
Huh?
Praise get the fuck up.
I can't hear people. I can't hear y'all.
I said I do, priestess. I do.
Okay, what you want to say, baby?
I have a better understanding now on what I'm supposed to do. So I do have a better understanding of what you were saying in the chat. So I do get it, and I'm sitting here crying. So I'm drying my tears right now because every subject that you hit is me. So I do have a fear of tapping into my shadow because I know that I'm a type of person that's hard to forgive, and I know I need to forgive, but part of me don't want to forgive. But I understand now that I don't need people to apologize in order for me to give the forgiveness, that it's okay for me to do it, even if they do or don't apologize.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I need to learn how to get my other half to accept me forgiving without me crying every day. Because ever since we did the mental the meditation the assignment that you gave us, I've been crying almost every day because my other half don't want to forgive. So I need to figure out how to get the other half of me to let go and forgive along with my other half. So that's the part that I'm struggling with right now. And I know it seems like I'm not trying to do the assignment. It's just that my other half of me is like, no, we can't do this, and it blocks. I'm like having really a hard time with the meditation because once I go through the meditation, it just stops in the middle of it. But I still complete the whole meditation, but it's hard for me. So
Well, I'm glad you're being transparent and real about that. This
so I
is
just
how
want to make it seem like I'm not trying not to do the assignment. It's just that it's hard. For me. It's really, 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 really hard to get my other side to forgive,
okay.
and I've
So
been dealing with this for a long time.
I know what you mean. So the lessons that I give is because these are the things that work for me. I've been where you've been. I felt what you felt. And it had to take for me to finally just let go and forgive them and forgive myself for even holding the grudge on them, because you got to think hurt people hurt people. The reason why they hurt you is because they was hurt, and on and on and on. But you have to break the cycle. It has to break with you, or your kids are going to be doing the same thing and they're going to be struggling. Then their kids after that. So the reason why you're crying, because you're purging, you're cleansing, but you have to breathe and let go. Forgiveness is not forgiving them because you just want to get over it. It is for you. It's for you to go ahead and start to let go. But this is why I always say forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. Those three coincide with each other, because you forgive because you have compassion for them because they're messed up in their own life. And you understand that they're messed up in your own life because you understand where you are and where you're coming from. You have compassion and understanding through what you've been through. And forgiving yourself, you're forgiving them as well. You understand?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
with those three as well, and then understanding who you are and the reason why you incarnated, the reason why you came down here, knowing you chose these lessons and these karmic situations to go through, you understand, okay, I chose this. And if I chose this, it's because my soul knows that I'm going to be able to get through this, because my soul knows this is what I need in order for it to grow and expand. We can't be too attached to this 3D. It's the 5D and all the levels above that we're getting to and that we're ascending to. Okay, we have to let
Yes,
go of
ma'am.
what's here. We have to take the lesson and not ask the why. This is why I say this. Okay, this is why it's
Yes.
very important to do your Ori rituals every morning. It's very important to get in touch with your Ori, because you're going to understand yourself more, have that portal connected to your higher self, and you're going to be understanding a lot more about who you are and why you are. But you have to let go, because if not, you're going to come back and repeat the same shit.
I know.
And nobody wants that.
No, ma'am.
So just be patient with yourself. It takes time, trust me. It took me some years. Okay. I know I look young. Okay, but your priestess just turned 41. You know, my birthday was on Thursday. I just turned 41. And I've been on my spiritual journey since I was 24. Okay. I finally started to master who I was till I was 33. Okay. And I still went through two other dark nights of the souls between then and now. So it's levels to this, but you have to start at the first level, which is always the hardest. But once you get through that, everything else will be a breeze. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, you are hard-headed too, Queen Baby. Yeah, you are. You my most hard-headed child. Anybody else have something to say?
That was so good. That was so good.
Thank you. Who is that? Who am I talking to?
Stephanie?
Hi, Steph. I was wondering where you were, girl.
But to
Thank you,
pick
Mama.
say, you know, about forgiveness, I think what's helped me the most is once I recognize one, forgiveness is for me. It's not for those almost cuss. It's not for those people.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they do or don't do is between them and God.
That's right.
So really is, forgive them. It's not really for them, because I learned from my mother. She liked to hold grudges. She would say, Gemini, she loved to hold grudges. And what I do, I'm I'm Aquarius. So when I feel when I feel your energy funky, I'm gonna leave. So I see it as, she's in the house, all mad. Me and my son living our life out, out there. We are going to the mall, all that. So I learned that, like, you know what? When I'm mad at people or holding grudges on people, they living their best life out here. I'm
That's
mad.
right.
I'm still, I'm still back in 1992. Just not, all joke aside, it's for forgiveness is for me to free myself. It's not for them. They may or may not, they may or may not even looking for forgiveness. They might did what they did just to piss me off so that I can stuck in the place.
Exactly.
And then and the real thing that really helped me out is that once I recognized I chose this. This is predestined.
That's right.
I chose to have a mother. My mom is not a bad mother. It's just that, when I need to elevate myself, all of a sudden her thoughts all came through. I find out a lot about her. That I'm like, God, doggone. But one of it is that once I find out, once I accept that, you know what, you chose to be back. You chose to born into a family like that. I don't know why. I don't know what you need to learn. So now when any hardship that come my way, anything that don't goes my way, or my thinking of how it's supposed to go come my way, I say, you know what, thank you for a lesson, because I sure don't want to come back. I'll be like, come on, come through, let all that hardship, let all the lesson to come through, because
That's right.
because I don't, Lord, cuss again, Jesus.
You could cuss. I don't care. I be cussing like you could cuss.
This service, I see. You know, I need to learn all the lesson I need to learn so that I can be my higher self. Because I don't want to come back to this motherfucker no more. Because this is the way to live.
Mm-hmm.
Once I learned that, I welcome trial and tribulations. I don't want them, but I welcome them, because
right.
myself, this is what you signed up for. Nobody put you here but you. You picked a dad like that, and a mother like that, and a sister who supports you 100%. That's the reason.
That's right.
So with when I remember that, when I got that in my thick skull, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, come through. It's so silly to say, but I truly welcome trial and tribulation. And my sister and brother, it's just personal experience. The more I get that thinking, truly believe in it, the less trial and tribulation come my way.
That's right.
Because, like, I don't know, is it because minor stuff don't phase me no more, or is it truly a lesson to be learned, and I done learned it? So they was like, they know to fuck her up now because she's good.
Yeah. The more that you resist, the more the harder it is. You have to allow and let it go through you, because you have chose it. So resistance doesn't do anything but get your panties in a bunch. So if you guys go ahead and allow it and work through it, you're gonna receive blessings. When I was younger, I always used to be happy when hardships come through or when I'm tested. It lets me know that the enemy or the devil is worried about something, that I'm going to do something. I'm about to level up spiritually, or this blessing's about to come. So I'm finna get tested. So I missed this blessing. So I missed this spiritual, level up. So I kind of would be in my little ego, be like, yeah, you scared of me. You scared how God created me. You nervous about what I'm about to become. You're nervous about who I'm going to be. So that used to just like play with my little ego right there, and just help me like get through what I need to get through, and not really cry in the car every time someone's happening or something's about to happen. So most definitely. Thank you, Stephanie. Crystal, you have your hand up, baby. What you want to say?
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Okay, so I am trying. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to stay positive. And I don't know if I know I'm strong enough to beat everything that's going on, but it's like it's hard for me to meditate with everything that's going on, dealing with I don't know. When I wrote that letter to my mom, it pulled up a whole lot of old emotions. On top of that, finding out I can't move back home. My job won't let me move back home yet. My grandmother getting breast cancer with my sister already in chemo. And it's just a lot. And I feel I get overwhelmed and everything is like piling on top of each other. And I feel like I can't keep up, but I want to keep up. And I don't know how to shift from, because I'm, with depression, it takes all of your energy and you feel like you have no will to do nothing. I'm struggling with trying not to fall down that slope.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to, I do all my lessons. I do them.
You do.
I do them. And I keep them, and it takes me a while to post between everything I got going on. So it takes me a while to post them, but I do them. And it's just, I feel like I don't know how to beat this.
Well, this is the thing. Like I said earlier, you're responsible for you, right?
Yeah.
Everything else that grandma and your sister's going through, that's what they're responsible for. Your only responsibility is to pray and to be there for them. But you can't control what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control nothing what's happening. All you can control is where you are and how you are today. Crystal has to heal herself and be the example first for everybody else to be able to learn that lesson through her. Okay? So
yeah.
As long as you do that, let go of the control, do what you're responsible for, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But don't get your panties in a bunch. Don't get to spinning your head spinning what I could do. You can only do what you're capable of doing right now. And all those things that you're capable of doing, do it to the best of your capabilities. Period. If you don't have what that is to apply yourself to do what you need to do, accept it. You want that thing? Pray for it. Ask your ancestors, ask God for it, and let it be applied to you.
Yeah.
It could be,
I don't know.
It could be so simple, but you have to decide. Trust me, I used to be depressed. I used to want to do crazy things. I used to cut holes in a wall and burn apartment downs almost like I was crazy. Like, But you know what I used to do? I used to meditate for an hour in the morning, an hour at night. I will sing a whole bunch of gospel music. I will get on my face, pray to God. As soon as I wake up, I have all these quotes and verses. So as soon as I wake up, I won't go into that negativity or that negative thinking. I'm already seeing positive affirmations and things to lift me up. You have to get creative with it. Okay.
I think it's my super saver whole ways.
No,
I just
you
want to
can't.
save my family
I
and
told you
protect
can't.
them.
You can't do that. You have to be
And
the
that's what's
example.
killing me.
I told you, that's why I say you can't control it. Who are you to control it?
Yeah.
You have to control your own life. So that's that control. You have to let go and really master your own self and your own thing and be the example. Or you're just gonna be coming back and doing the same thing. You want to
And I
repeat?
don't want to do that.
No.
I don't.
No. So just make sure you're the example. Do what you need to do for Crystal. Level up. They're gonna see that light and they're gonna be influenced by that and inspired by that. And you're gonna watch and see how your family shifts that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to help, give stuff to your ancestors, give stuff to your gungun, ask for them to help. they have more power in the spirit realm to be able to help your grandma and your sister in ways that you can't.
Mhm.
Okay, so keep doing the meditation. You probably got to do it more than 7 days, but keep doing it, because that's the reason why I did it, so you guys could purge the negative energy and or entities that may be attached to you and get rid of that.
Right.
Okay.
Because I think the stress is what causes my back to inflame.
Yep.
Because it was like it was hurting a little bit yesterday, and I just tried to calm down, lay down, and just leave the world, and it went away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your spirit probably don't even want to be here dealing with everything. So the more you need to attune it and activate it and ascend it.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go. I got a call.
Okay, bye.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else? I try to meditate practice. Yeah, that's good. You got something to say, Miss Marisha?
Yeah,
Miss Dula?
you be able to see me. I would definitely say, well, this message definitely came right on time. So let me allow to say thank you, and I receive it. It's funny enough that when you talked about your Pataki of Ogun and Yamaya, I kind of weirdly enough, I almost resonated a little bit more with Ogun in that situation. I know what it's like to be triggered by vulnerability. I know what it's like to kind of feel shamed for it in a way. And even in my spiritual journey that I've been on for the last 2 years. So I'm a late bloomer in so many ways, but I've caught up. I would definitely say I've definitely caught up.
Yes.
That I still struggle with vulnerability. I still struggle with the idea of just completely allowing myself to grieve, to cry, to like yell and scream, because in my previous life, I always felt like it was just so counterproductive. Things, because it was like, you still got a mess to clean up, Marisha. What is that going to do? But I don't think that's good. That I don't allow myself that, especially when people, especially my surroundings, have grown accustomed to me providing that for them. But yet I can't get myself my same return, because I've dealt with people kind of having a high expectation, like, oh, Marisha, she's this smart and intelligent. I don't expect her to make the same mistakes that I do. So if she does, then that means something must be wrong with her. So I need you to not do the same things that I do, because I need to use you as my crutch. And if you're not the strong one, then who else I can go to? But then it's like, well, then who do I go to? You know, right now, the only people I can go to are, initiated priestess like you and maybe my mom. And so
you can't run back to your old self like Ogun did.
Yeah. And so it's hard to like, to be on the front line for your ancestors sometimes, for God, when like you still got okay, I'm not gonna get emotional. When you do still have wounds that need to heal. And you're not always given the space and support to heal those wounds. So I'm grateful for the space that my ancestors have provided, the Loa who work with me, the Orisha who are now appearing in my life, that I now know that are here. But I will say, like, it is tough. So I understand Ogun so much in that position, because it was probably a lot for him.
Yep.
Even be vulnerable enough to do that for her.
Yep. You know, he's definitely that Chiron energy, that wounded warrior, and he cares so much about the world and people in general. But then at the same time, he's fierce, and he loves the same way, but he is so misunderstood, but he is also so needed by so many. And you have to make sure that you balance yourself out in a way to where you don't revert back to your old self, to where you don't go back into that hole in which you came from. Okay, because you have to be in the spotlight, because you are the example for your family and for those who are around you. So sometimes we want to go ahead and pull our hands up and be like, I give up. I want someone to help me like someone's going to help, like I've helped other people, but that's not your life. That's not your life. No one helped me from 24 to 33. No one helped me. I did it all by myself. YouTube helped me. YouTube.com. I learned stuff, did meditation, but I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anyone I could go to. My parents didn't even understand me because they themselves were still going through their own thing. You know, so you have to just sometimes just grit your fucking teeth and your booty cheeks if you have to, and do what you need to do. And it sucks, but you gotta be like, you know what? God made me like this. God made me strong. That's why I could take my shit and your shit at the same time. Cause I'm capable of doing this. So once you understand that, like I told you when we talked on the phone, sometimes you gotta use that ego and get cocky to make things happen. Ego. Sometimes you gotta use that, because that's the momentum to get you going. And then once you get to going, don't stop. Even if things look the same, don't stop. Because sometimes the enemy, the devil, is going to use people against you. Those are just agents. Because remember, the Ajagun and the Jinn and the demons, they're scared for you finding out who you are. They're scared for you to reach that goal that you're supposed to be. They're scared for you to finally ascend to where you don't come back into hell. So where you don't come back into this raggedy 3D. They're scared of that. Because they know that once you figure this out, you're going to take people with you. Oh, shit. Okay, so just know that. And that's a lot to have your ego big for. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to cry, but get up. Even if you got, like I said earlier, even if you got to cry while you do it and cry. So just get up. Just know that you're crying because you're cleansing yourself, because you're purging yourself. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, I will say the first time I ever did cord cutting, that was a productive cry. I cried lighting that candle, cried that oil thing. I cried my way to some healing. So you can definitely do some productive crying. So
that's right.
It's like an ego death and an ego transformation at the same time.
And you're gonna have more than one in your lifetime. Yeah, trust me.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby. Anybody else? If not, we're gonna go ahead and go along. Okay. Well, thank you for y'all for attending. I love you guys very, very much. And I'm proud of your guys' growth so far. You guys have been doing awesome work. You guys know you guys could hit me up or hit up the moderators if you need help. I want you guys to keep growing and keep growing strong. And like I said, I want to see your guys' offerings today, okay? All right, y'all. I love y'all. No carbon copy. Ain't even like that. Just trying to match my swag. 'Cause I'm